Hi students and dear parents, finally the wait is over. CA Institute has officially made an announcement about the applicability of new scheme of education and training for CA course. That means it will be called as new scheme of education for 2023, and all the details about this new scheme will be officially announced on 1st July 2023. That is nothing but our CA day. And the interesting point that you can notice in this notification is Institute is clearly saying that the new scheme of education and training is done in line with international educational standards. That means, so at par with international standards, our CA curriculum is being modified. I think everybody is aware that CA Institute has a policy of reviewing their syllabus for every 5 years. Similarly, in this year, that is 2023, they have come up with a new scheme of education and training. And I can frankly say that this new scheme of education and training will be a welcoming move for the students, parents, as well as all the remaining stakeholders also. Definitely, it's a great and bold step from CA Institute. And another interesting point that you can note from this notification is at par with the national educational policy. Because if you look at the national educational policy, the fundamental point being stressed for number of times is student has to be given a choice what he wants to learn. I think so this new scheme of education and training so is modified keeping this new educational policy also into mind. For example, at CA final level, so one paper is given as an elective paper, and where student can choose from wide number of options, not only limited to our commerce stream. For example, under the new schemes, a student is free to choose. If he wants, he can even study constitution also as a part of his CA final curriculum, which is wonderful. So student will be given more choice, which is in line with National Educational Policy 2020. So let's see how this new scheme of education and training is going to be for CA course, that is nothing but June 2023 scheme. Let's see. First of all, there will be two alternative ways to enter into CA course. One route is foundation route, also known as CA foundation. So this is all everybody knows. So there are two different ways to join for CA course. One is CA foundation route. The moment you qualify your 10th class, you can register for CA foundation. Of course, you have to wait till the completion of your +2 examinations, or we can also say it as senior inter examinations. After completion of the senior inter or +2 examinations, then you will be eligible to appear for CA foundation examinations, which will be held in June and December. So earlier CA foundation exams used to be conducted in May and November. From the past 2 years, Institute is conducting CA foundation examinations in June and December, but under the new scheme, from the first attempt onwards, the CA foundation exams will be conducted in June and December only. Now coming to the study period, the study period is going to be only 4 months for CA foundation. For example, if you are right now studying senior intermediate or +2, then you need to register for CA foundation on or before 31st December so that you will be eligible to appear for CA foundation exams to be held in June 2024. Of course, any student can register for CA foundation after completion of 10th class, but the last date will be 31st December in the senior inter. That means in this period, you can register at any point of time. So after 31st December, if you register, then you will be allowed to write CA foundation examinations to be held in December of the next year, but not in the June of the next year. If you register before 31st December, then you will be allowed to write the exams in June of the next year itself. But by the time the CA foundation exams gets completed and results are announced, the student must be able to produce an evidence that he has qualified his +2 or senior inter, as the case may be. Now the interesting thing is direct entry route. Under the existing scheme, a student who has qualified his graduation, that is degree, it can be BCom, BA, BSc, BTech, any graduation, or post graduation, he might have done PG also. All such students will be allowed to directly do CA Inter without CA foundation. But under the existing scheme, the problem is such kind of students, that is students who have finished their degree or PG, first complete 9 months of articleship. Before that, they need to finish ITT and orientation classes. Then only they were allowed to write their CA Inter exams. But under the new scheme, a student who has completed degree or PG can directly register for CA Inter. Don't get confused. He is not allowed to directly write CA Inter exams. He is allowed to directly register for CA Inter course. Of course, the student must secure at least 55% in his degree. That means all the 3 years together. If he belongs to commerce field like BCom, then it is sufficient to score 55% of minimum marks in his 3 years of graduation together. So similarly, if he is coming from a science stream or non-commerce stream, then he must score at least 60% marks in his graduation or post-graduation, as the case may be. That's the only condition. So second alternative under a direct entry scheme, which is already there in old scheme also, that is, if you have qualified CMA intermediate level course or CS company secretary intermediate level course, then also you can directly register for CA Inter. This facility was there in the old scheme also, and the same facility is given under the new scheme also. So last and the interesting option under direct entry route is, let us assume you have not yet finished your graduation or post graduation, as the case may be, but you are pursuing the final year. Even then you can directly register for CA Inter. For example, right now you have finished your BCom second year and third year is still pending. Even then you can directly register for CA Inter. So students who have attempted for CA foundation once or twice and unable to clear, but they have already finished degree second year, now you can directly register for CA Inter under the new scheme. It's a good news for all such students. So under the direct entry scheme, you have given 3 options. Either you should have completed final year of graduation or post graduation. Second option, you might have completed inter level of CS or CMA courses, and the third option is you are still pursuing the final year of degree or PG courses. Now coming to the foundation route once again. So after qualifying your class 12, so some may call it as plus 2, some may call it as senior inter, so you name it in any form. So after completion of your class 12 as well as foundation course, you can register for CA Inter. So students coming from foundation route and students coming from direct entry route, everyone will register for CA Inter course. And the study period for CA Inter will be 8 months. For example, if you register on or before September 1st of this year for CA Inter, then you will be allowed to write CA Inter examinations to be held in May 2024. So that's how your 8 months of study period will come. After completion of 8 months of study period and then appearing for both the groups of CA Inter, under the old scheme, a student was allowed to register for practical training even after qualifying at least one group. But now under the new scheme, a student will be allowed to register for practical training only after qualifying both the groups. It's a wonderful move. It's a welcoming move, because once a student joins for practical training after completion of one group, he has to face so many challenges, because on one side he has to take care of the office work and on the other side he has to continue his studies for group 2, which is literally impossible. So that's why it's good that institute has realized and recognized the hardships being faced by the students and decided to allow students to register for practical training only after qualifying both the groups. After qualifying both groups of CA Inter, you need to register for CA Final and practical training simultaneously. And in this period of 2 years, you are supposed to complete and qualify self-paced learning modules. As a part of this process, you will be allowed to watch certain video lectures provided by the CA Institute for around 4 papers. You need to watch those videos and you need to attend the exams anywhere across the country. The CA Institute is building the infrastructure to conduct these self-paced learning module exams in online mode. You need to visit the exam centers of CA Institute and there you can write the exam. The best part is you can register at your own convenient date and go and write the exam. That's why it's called self-paced online modules. So you must go through the training process and you must qualify exams, online exams being conducted in that self-paced learning module. So, and after completion of these 2 years of practical training, then you need to undergo a training process called Advanced ICI TSS. So even here also you need to go and visit the CA Institute premises and attend these coaching classes. After that there will be a simple and nominal exam and you are supposed to qualify. So after completion of this Advanced ICI TSS classes, then you will be allowed to appear for CA final exams. Of course, there should be a minimum gap of 6 months between completion of practical training and appearing for CA final exams. In other words, you will not be allowed to appear for CA final exams immediately after completion of practical training. You must take a break of 6 months. In other words, Institute wants you to be thorough with the CA final syllabus in that 6 months and then appear for CA final exams. In that period only, you can finish off this Advanced ITT training. Next one. So after completion of the practical training, you will be allowed to apply for a certificate called Business Accounting Associate. It's optional. There is no compulsion that you must apply. So after completion of these 2 years of practical training and Advanced ICI TSS classes, then you can apply for Business Accounting Associate certificate. Of course, even after applying for that, you can continue your CA final preparation. There is no objection that once you have taken the certificate, you have to quit. No. So you are almost like a semi-qualified CA. I think CA Institute will take some steps to see that industry will recognize this certificate and they will provide employment opportunities even to the students who were unable to clear their CA final. After that, you need to appear for both groups of CA final, and then if you qualify, then you need to apply for membership of CA Institute, and done. You are a qualified CA. This is how the new scheme of CA course is designed. Frankly speaking, so rather than the course structure, interesting changes were done in the syllabus of the new scheme. Let's see how the syllabus is going to be, which will be, all such details will be announced after July 1st, 2023.